Hi, welcome to the energy forecast for June 1st through the 6th. My name is Danielle Garcia and I am a psychic medium. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into the energies that are coming in this week with a little bit of astrology as well as just my own vibe on what's coming in. Now, here in the United States, it's been pretty stressful over this past weekend. And it's not just stressful over this last weekend. It's been the last several months, and I'm sure it's been stressful all over the world the last, 3 or 4 months going through COVID and quarantine and lockdown. And, we've got a lot of people that have gotten sick. We've got a lot of people who have lost their livelihood. And with the uncertainty of change, there's a huge, huge, intense fear that is present right now on our planet. Before I get into the energies coming forward and coming in, I'd just like to talk about that a little bit. We always have a choice as to how we react, no matter the situation. I'm sure that you've encountered different people that have gone through what you would view as the most horrendous things in their lives, and they're still standing, right? They've made it through it. They've risen above it. And that doesn't mean that they have a level of perfection or even that they're of a much stronger nature than you or I are. It just means that they found a way to manage through it. They found a way to get through a tough situation. And there's a tough situation going on right now. And we all have choices, right? We can feed the fear or we can feed the faith. It's a choice. And shit happens. No denying that. Stuff happens that is completely outside of our control. Things happen in this world that are really dark and really ugly. But you know what? There's so much more light. There's so much more love. There's so much more good. And we have choices right now. We can sit here on social media and listen to the police reports and listen to the political reports and listen to the different media reports and listen to the shit stirs themselves that, just blanket and blanket us with propaganda that is absolutely incorrect. And why do you think they want to do that? They want to control how we feel. They want to take away that choice from us. They want us to be in fear because while the fear is right in front of us and we're plugging into that frequency and we're plugging into that emotion and we're plugging into that vibration, we weaken ourselves, don't we? Anytime that you allow a lower negative emotion into your field, into your heart, into your mindset, you're not allowing yourself to be as strong as you possibly can. You're not allowing yourself to be in your power completely. So what are you going to feed today? Are you going to feed the fear? Are you going to feed the faith? Are you going to stand together with other people that decide, you know what, hey, this isn't working. This isn't good enough. This isn't where I want to be. This isn't how I want to feel. This isn't the type of country, state, city, family, work environment that I want to thrive in. What are you going to do? Are you going to feed the faith? Or are you going to feed the fear? And being in faith doesn't mean that you never encounter the bad, the dark, the ugly. It just means that you're going to get through it. It means that you choose to focus on something of a lighter nature to push through and to move forward into higher, better, brighter circumstance. We always have a choice. Always. 100%. It doesn't matter the situation. You have a choice. And not only do you have a choice, you have a sole responsibility as to how you react. Karma is real. Holy crap, is karma real. So everything that we do, every reaction, every overreaction, every underreaction that we take, we're going to end up settling that score up somewhere, somehow down the line. whether it's on this side of the veil or whether it's on the other side of the veil. So think about today. What are you feeding? Are you going to feed the fear? Are you going to feed the faith? It's a choice. You cannot feed faith and fear at the same time. It's impossible. It just doesn't work. So, talking about the energies coming in, today is June 1st. We are officially in the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. Woohoo! Are you ready? And I know a lot of you empaths and sensitives out there thinking, holy crap, and here comes Mercury retrograde, right? Well, let's talk about this pre-shadow phase. Because the pre-shadow phase of Mercury retro goes from, about 17, 18 days before Mercury retrograde hits. So the pre-shadow phase, yes, you start to feel all the feels of Mercury going into retrograde, but it's also a time to prepare. It's also an awareness that we can have. This is really about, what are you plugging into? What are you tapping into? Where's your energy at? How are you investing your energy? Think about that for the next 17 days before Mercury retrograde hits on the 17th. Where do you want your life to be? What is working for you? What isn't working for you? And those things that aren't working for you, what are you doing to make them better? Are you stepping away from a relationship? Are you cutting cords? Are you managing your emotions about how you feel? Are you bringing more light into the situation? Are you setting a boundary? Again, we always, always, always have choices. Now, Mercury retrograde historically for many empaths and sensitives brings a lot of hypersensitivity along with that ride. It brings a lot of impulsivity. Emotions run high. We're reactionary. So think about this also as making time to set a practice for yourself. Whether it's breath work, whether it's journaling, meditation, going for a run, taking a hot bath at night. Do something specific every single day that is time for you, that is time to release, and that is time to connect. You will get through this phase of what the world is going through, as well as the cycle of the other 4 planets in retrograde and bringing in the 5th, which is, the big guns, Mercury retrograde. It will be so much easier for you if you do this. Set some time aside. This is a time for stillness. This is a time for, intention. We're coming into a phase of the moon. The full moon eclipse is coming forward. This is intention, 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 intention. And in regards to what's going on in the world right now, this is about thinking about what you do want, not about what you don't want. Yes, we need to set boundaries and cut cords and have the realizations and so on and so forth. But have you ever noticed that the more you think about what it is that you don't want, the more you stay stuck in that energy? If you know what it is you don't want and you come up with a plan on how to manage that, get away from it, break free from it, move forward away from it, whatever that is, you're taking control, right? You're taking your power back. You have that choice. But if you want to sit here in stagnant energy and just mull over, this isn't going right, this isn't going right, this isn't going right, you are disempowering yourself. You are lowering your vibe. You are making yourself vulnerable for psychic attack, for dis-ease, for illness. You're bringing your immune system down. You're bringing your mental field, the vibration of your mental field and your aura down. You're bringing the emotional field vibration down as well. So this is all about bringing in light, bringing in light, bringing in light, setting intention, and make sure when you're setting those intentions that you're doing it in a positive way. I want more love in my life, as opposed to, I don't want hate anymore. You want to bring positive affirmations, positive intentions. Watch your wording and watch how you talk to yourself. A lot of people get very, very self-critical during the time of Mercury retrograde. So the pre-shadow phase, the next 17 days, take a conscious awareness of how you're talking to yourself. Are you telling yourself how much you're loved? Are you telling yourself how beautiful you are? Are you telling yourself how worthy of abundance and light and all the good stuff that you are? Or are you sitting there chipping away at your self-worth? Are you sitting there telling yourself how worthless you are, how everybody has it easier, how everybody has it better, etc., etc., etc.? You are your own self-fulfilling prophecy. Your mind, your brain, your spirit, and your body listens to everything that you have to tell it. So make sure that you're telling it good stuff. I can't be more simplistic than that. We've also got a couple of other, things moving forward this week that could be a little challenging. Emotions will run high. Duh. I think we've already seen that as to what's going on in the world right now. The Schumann resonance, again, no big shocker here, is going kind of crazy. I checked today right before I started doing this broadcast, and it was at 68. The normal intensity is 7.83. So think of what you're plugging into. Think of what you're feeding. Faith or fear? Fear or faith? I highly suggest doing a cleanse. And by a cleanse, I mean get off your phone, get off social media, take a break. When you're hearing these different reports, whether they're from your friends, whether they're from groups, whether they're from news agencies, don't believe everything you hear, because all of it is not truth. Really take a step back. Take a step back and do a gut check. Is this what feels right to me? Is this what feels true to me? Or am I being swept up into some type of turbulence? Like a wave in the ocean and swept out. That can happen with fear, and that can happen with a lot of these different reports that are going on social media. It's not always a conspiracy theory. Sometimes it is. It's not always super dark, and sometimes it is. So you have to check in and see how you feel about certain situations, not what everyone else is telling you. And something else that's really been, pretty abrasive out there on social media, I'm sure I'm not the only one that's heard this, is that, you need to feel this way. If you don't feel this way, and if you don't jump on this bandwagon, then you're not a light worker. You don't believe in God. You're not religious. You're not spiritual if you don't believe in the way I'm telling you to believe. How love and light does that feel? Not so much, right? Last time I checked, again, we all have choices. And hey, I respect anybody's choice. You believe in what you want to believe in. That's cool. That's awesome. But we still have to obey the law. We still have to obey the rules. There's all kinds of rules. There's universal rules. There's rules at your workplace, rules at home, rules on the highway. There's rules everywhere. And when you disobey the rules, things happen, karmically, criminally, or otherwise. None of us is bulletproof. So I'm going to ask the cards now about energies coming in this week. And I've chosen to use the Soul's Journey Lesson Cards by James Van Praagh. I really love these cards. So the first card I'm going to draw is humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Well, I think that's freaking awesome. That's a wonderful thing to do this week, because I think we've had a lot of upset, right? And who wants more of that? So what can you do this week to focus on humor? Maybe stop watching the news or social media and watch stupid cat videos on YouTube. Maybe laugh at yourself. Maybe look specifically for the lighter things in life and the humorous side of situations. The next card I drew, acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change. What a beautiful thing to step into, acceptance, right? Absolutely. There are certain things going on right now we're not going to be able to change. We're just going to have to accept them, and we're going to have to work through them or around them. The next card I am choosing, courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Well, I definitely think that that sums up the energy forecast that I've been talking about for this week. It's time to have courage. Courage does not have to be abrasive. Courage can be simplistic. Courage can be powerful. Courage can be compassionate. Love is the highest vibration in existence. And I hope that when you look at these different situations that are dark and low and violent, I hope that you don't allow that to steal the love that remains inside of you and the love that connects you with every other living being in existence. So take a breath, do some grounding. We're all going to get through this together. We can make it more difficult, or we can make it easier. Either way, it's a choice, and you are in control of what you choose.